because I want it to be natural, you know what I mean? I don't want there to be like, all right, go. Because then if you say like something like go or action or something like that, you know, it just kind of feels like, I don't know if there's like a subconscious, like I have to put on a facade. I'm a podcaster now. Like, no, I just want to just be natural.
Well, when you do that, I'm an actor, so therefore, when I hear action, it's just like I turn into a whole different person,
and I don't want that.
I become whatever character I've been hired to do. So whatever you hired me to do, that's what I came to do.
Is it true that the hardest role to play is yourself?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Now that you done said that, done messed me up completely. Yeah. I'm like, who am I? I just started questioning who I am right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm going for. And quite honestly, man, a lot of this is still very, very fluid to me. You know what I mean? The process. I feel like, you know, this is going to be number 4. And I feel like, you know, every single episode, I'm trying to figure out what can I do better? How can I make it more of what I want it to be? And then that leads me into what do I want this to be? And I feel like I have a good answer. You know, I don't think I would have started had I not had a somewhat solid answer on what I want it to be. But just being as effective in achieving that goal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So. It's like when you, back in the time when you were in school and they tell you, okay, they give you a subject.
Yeah.
And then from there, they be like, you have to do an outline of what that subject is. So that's how I see certain things in business ventures and stuff. So once you get your, you know, what you want, then you start outlining where you need to go. Yeah. So
yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And that's a fluid thing I have going on right now. I have this document on my computer that I'll constantly go back and I'll try to reassess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, most definitely.
I just got a phone call as soon as I'm doing this. I gotta tell people, leave me alone.
No, that's what happens. So, you know, I'll let Chrissy know. I'll let her know, hey, I'm about to record, that kind of thing, or I'm off to go do a podcast. I told her I was leaving the house and I was like, hey, I just left the house. And she knows what I'm leaving to do.
Good communication.
Yeah. And so she knows that I put it on silent at best, or I turn it off, and that I'm not looking at that thing. You know, I'm not looking at the thing. The first episode I recorded, I have the little sound recorder right here, and I like to assume Murphy's Law is going to take full effect in everything that I do. And so for a moment, I took a quick glance at my sound recorder just to make sure that it's still recording. I got good battery, all that good stuff, and it completely threw her off. So, I'm trying to get better at, okay, before I start, let me silence my watch, let me silence my phone, let me because I definitely don't want to distract anyone. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, man.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's good communication.
You got to.
Within the marriage.
Yeah. All right. I've had to do good communication when asking people to do the podcast, you know, because there's so many different styles out there. I've had some people that are nervous. And I've found out for different reasons. Some are afraid to talk on microphone. Some, yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Some have been afraid of, you know, like, hey, you know, what kind of podcast is this that I'm getting involved in? You know, I just want to talk. I just want to talk about life, that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. And,
just want to share my experiences.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. I came across a podcast recently, Real Ones, with John Bernthal. I think that's how you say his name. So he's the most recent Punisher. He played it. Yeah, he played it on the Netflix.
Yeah, of course.
So he has one out, and that's, I feel like it's a combination of his podcast and like Joe Rogan, you know, like where it's there doesn't have to be a given topic. Basically, I want to ask people that I find interesting to come on and kind of just share their 2 cents. You know? Yeah. That's it.
What if they got 50 cents?
That'd be even better. That'd be even better, man. Yeah. And most of the people I've talked to now so far, I've been like, we got to do another one, because the past 2 episodes have been like 2 hours, and
Lord Jesus.
And it doesn't even scratch the surface of what they could talk about.
True.
Yeah, man. But you though, number 4, it's coming out Tuesday. You know that?
I didn't.
Yeah. You're coming out this Tuesday. This is going to be Tuesday. Right now it's Friday. You're going to come out this Tuesday, because I'm trying to keep to a regular Tuesday release.
I like that. Talk to me Tuesdays.
Talk to me Tuesdays.
I did a Talk to me Thursdays on live last night.
Yeah, you were on live last night. How'd that go?
It went well.
So talk to me live. That's what it's called.
Talk to me Thursdays.
Talk to me Thursdays.
Yeah.
Is that your thing?
It's not. I just created like a title.
Okay.
And I just kind of went on live and talked about my book to the 4 or 5 people who turned up. So
yeah,
it was a good experience. But
well, 2 things. One, name of the book.
Hard to Heal.
Hard to Heal.
Yes.
Okay.
Poetry from a Broken Heart.
And then, I've accepted that too. There are some podcasts that I haven't discovered until they were 100+ episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're 100+ episodes in. And so I'm trying to remember to not focus on the numbers. I mean, this is just me.
Yeah.
I'm not like giving you advice or anything like that. I'm just kind of
take it.
let me tell you how to do things. Listen all right. Up. Yeah, no, but I'm going to work on the assumption that this is for me.
Yeah.
What I'm doing,
Yeah.
And if others get something out of it, rock on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise, I've been in that focus before where, like with the age that we're in, it's all about likes. It's all about followers. It's all about this and that. And that's very, very hollow.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to do that.
Okay.
But when you were on your show last night or when you were doing the Talk Thursdays, you talked about your book. I mean, were people responding to you? Were you just kind of going through and elaborating more, or what was it?
So I started off with like my introduction to, how I got into poetry. And then I talked about, my book and how it's laid out and what was the motivation and what's the reason why I wrote the book. And kind of took Q&A. Okay. During the Q&A, that's when I started getting more, interaction with the people who were viewing me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
sometimes it was 3 people, then it went up to 4, then it went up to 5, and then went back to 3. So people came in and out, and then I posted it for anybody who missed it to kind of catch on to it.
I mean, I see what you're doing, mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, man, it from the outside, I'm like, damn, this dude's putting in work. You know what I mean? To. Like you are constantly communicating. You're constantly engaging. Yeah. Like you're putting it in, man. For real.
Trying to.
So I know I've burnt myself out sometimes, trying to do something. How are you feeling?
Discouraged.
So
fear.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Because it's new. I mean, not necessarily me doing poetry, but me coming up with marketing plans and to go over the marketing plan. I have a great partner who is my girlfriend.
Cool.
Her name is Sierra. Shout out to Sierra.
Yeah, shout out Sierra.
Also known as Sunflower.
Oh, I like cool aliases. I like cool aliases.
Yeah, she honestly, when I started this thing off, she kind of gave me the marketing plan.
Is that her thing? Is that her bag?
It's marketing? Not even her or degree plan. She researches, she reads, she educates herself so much.
Sometimes that's better than a degree, man. Yeah. I've met people, I've listened to people that weren't lawyers, but were smart as fucking shit about the law. Facts. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can be as smart or smarter than someone with a degree if you're driving yourself to do it.
True.
So she kind of gave you the
when I said I wanted to come out with a book. She just came boom, 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 boom. This is what we're gonna do. We need to post this time. You need to you need to start marketing here. So the drop release date is this. So people need to see it 7 times. So you need to post. I said, Lord, I couldn't done none of this. Like I was just going like, hey, my book coming out this date, coming soon.
Something I've learned when I was young and lazy and stupid, I look back on, opportunities that I had when I was younger. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People would kind of reach a hand out, offering me help or assistance in some sort of way. Because I'm young and dumb, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
I was just lazy about things. I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. I'm not about that. Now knowing better, if someone like that pops into my life, like an iron grip, I'm not letting them go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because here's someone giving me their energy to help me pursue my thing.
Yeah. Yeah. She definitely provided a different energy that I felt, before. Yeah. So she comes in and, whenever it's time for me to do something, like I'm about to do another video. Oh, you need to do this. She definitely provides great direction for me. So she ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, man. And at some point too, man, you know what? If this becomes a thing for me, I'm definitely going to need a team as well, because I have my focuses. You know, I know where I'm passionate, what I want to pursue.
Yeah.
But you know the game. You got to have marketing. You got to be doing this. You got to be doing that, man. I'm not good at all that stuff. You know, I'm putting little graphics and shit together. You know, like I got something ready for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna post it up, and you know, you're gonna. If you look at like my YouTube channel, or if you look at the thumbnails I have on Spotify or Apple or anything like that, you can see I have 3 episodes and a trailer out.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's I think it's 3 different photos. Like the layout, the graphics look 3 different ways.
Yeah,
yeah. Because I just haven't decided that shit yet, you know, because I'm still trying to work on it. I'm more focused on, you know, why am I doing this? Who am I going to have on? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, you got to have a team. No matter what it is, you got to have a team.
There's no I in team.
There's no I in T. But Kobe said there's a me. He said there's a me in that motherfucker. So yeah.
Kobe was ruthless. I'm not gonna. He was like the secondary Michael Jordan. Come out like that. And I listen to a lot of his, speeches when I'm getting ready in the morning.
Yeah.
To get ready for the day.
Yeah.
Or before, if I'm going on an acting role, or if I'm about to go do any type of performance, I just kind of listen to motivating speeches like that. But he was Michael Jordan,
bro. Most definitely, absolutely. I've been doing a lot of reading. Someone recommended me a book. It was called The Miracle Morning. I forgot who wrote the book, but The Miracle Morning. And basically, it was just like, hey, and if I can use my own terminology, but it was like, get the fuck up. And do these like 6 things in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And it was like talking about exercise, meditation, journaling, visualization of what your dreams are. Mm-hmm. You got affirmation, so don't cloud your mind with negative thoughts. Man, I'm fucking up. Man, I ain't gonna be able to do this. No, you've got to be your own advocate.
True. Because
chances are you're probably not gonna have any. And if you do have some, that's good, but you got to be the one telling yourself, because it's possible to manifest ideas in your head if you're the one kind of encouraging and driving yourself.
Yeah.
I can be really bad at it. I still tell myself sometimes, I'm like, damn, dude, you're fucking up, man. Like,
That's how I felt like last night on my live. I was like, okay, am I saying the right things to grab the attention of these viewers?
What do you feel like? Do you feel like sometimes your motivation maybe gets lost in, like, why do you do what you do?
Because it's my hobby.
Yeah.
That's for one, it's my hobby. And some people dig deep into their hobbies, and this is one of the things that I'm very passionate about.
And in this instance, we're talking about poetry, right? Because I know you do acting as well.
Yeah, well, acting, I love acting because I love creating a character and that everybody will love for that moment. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I like doing that. But poetry, it allows me to be free in the moment, allow me to speak freedom. You know what I'm saying? Just my inside thoughts. Being where I'm from, we go through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Literally. So a lot of men, we internalize a lot of stuff. And I know you heard that before.
Yeah.
We all internalize a lot of stuff. So when I first got into poetry, I went to this poetry workshop. I was by Kwabena and Muhib Dyer. These 2 very activists. They're activists in Milwaukee, and they're also great poets, man. So they kind of, went over how to write something, and they performed their pieces. But once they kind of showed me how to write, I went from there, and I've been writing ever since.
Okay.
I write in my notepad. I write on sticky notes, anything that comes to mind.
Yeah.
I'll just throw it somewhere.
Yeah.
And from there, I think my first heartbroken poem was when I was in high school, actually. Mm. And my high school sweetheart at the time, she ended up doing something that was
some people do,
and then got caught, and then it just tore me up, man. So as a young man, I had to revert back to, what, those two individuals said. And I just wrote about it. In the book, it's called No Space for Me. That's the name of the poem. And the book is 2 pages, but the original poem is literally like 4 pages.
Yeah.
So I had to scale back on some of the stuff.
What made you scale it back? Was it the education you had received? You're like, no, it would make it better if I scaled it back? Or
I think it's a few things. For one, it would make it better if I scaled back. Okay. Because if going on and keeping the attention of the reader, it'd probably be like, oh, okay, he's going on a little bit too much about the same subject.
I get you.
And also, like, it had names in specific places.
Yeah, that might not be the best. This bitch.
This bitch got me paying the rent.
For real.
It was that right there.
Go egg this house.
Man, that's the thing. Yeah. So it was like, it had not necessarily like, it had names, but it didn't have like, this is the address.
Yeah.
But it had like locations and just this stuff that was very evident to me and her. So
yeah.
That was to be honest, that's my favorite poem in my book.
Yeah.
That's the most. If I grab my book, I'll go right to that poem.
No space for me.
No space for me.
All right. By the way, I got you a water too.
Look at you.
Just in case you get thirsty at some point.
You're just so. You know what I mean? You're a great host.
I try to be accommodating.
You're a great host. Making sure I am not parched while speaking.
Gotta hydrate, right?
But yeah.
So I'm interested to know that. So you. The theme of relationships, of having your heart broken. It was the whole theme of your first book.
Yes.
What is it about that? I feel like there are a lot of things you could write about. It could be like an anthology of different emotions.
True.
But you stuck to that. What do you feel like it is about that area that, you dedicated the whole book to?
It's because it connects people.
Yeah.
Brokenness, it connects a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I wanted to connect with people with this book. So that's why I kind of stuck with this instead of coming out with love and like, my love is like a shoe and my shoe is on my foot and I walk. No, I wanted to connect with brokenness first.
Yeah.
And show people that I'm human. I'm not always, chipper. I'm not always on my square, as people would say. So I have my days and I have my mental days that I need to take, when I'm not feeling my most. So I wanted to connect with any reader, poetry reader, just by brokenness first. Now my next one is probably going to be, about love and all the rest of that stuff. But I just wanted to stick with this topic because this one, I think, my opinion, that, brokenness connects a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with you on that so much. When I'm trying to describe to people what it is I'm doing, I want to focus on good stuff. But I feel like in order to connection, like you said, some of the strongest connections one can make with another person is in the exposure of, or in the experience of vulnerability. When you expose that part of yourself that is, susceptible to judgment.
True. True.
And a lot of people like hiding that part of themselves. You go on, you see it on Facebook and social media, and people like making their lives look perfect. Every single post is something amazing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And, there's also the other extreme where people go and like they dump all of their drama on there, hey, maybe this is an argument you should have in private. You know what I mean?
I've done it before.
Bro, we all have. Yeah. But if that's what you're going for, I think you're doing it in a really good way. I also commend you on what you're doing. What you're doing is really courageous. And I've thought about you a few times. I'll see what you're doing. I'll see you posting stuff. And I'm like, it's really courageous what he's doing. Because one, I think to pursue authenticity can be really, really scary.
Yeah.
Because just you thinking about all the parts of yourself, good and bad, can be very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I agree.
And then you're sharing that with other people and you're sharing your art with the world. So now you're going online. Now you're going on Facebook and you're putting stuff out there. And so you're doing all this stuff that I feel is, you know, when I say we need to be an example of what we want the world to be, I feel like you're doing a great job at being an example of what I imagine you're probably wanting the world to be.
Appreciate that.
Connecting people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Definitely want to connect people.
When it comes to your poetry, though, I suppose when you say it provides you freedom, you know, the process of you first thinking about what it is you want to write about. I want to write about this, or I don't even know what your process is. You know, maybe it's like you can come up with a whole poem like that. Sometimes. Maybe others take a really long time.
Sometimes,
you know, what is it? What is the process for you whenever you're like, I want to write something?
Honestly, stuff just come on the fly.
Yeah. And
I will say one of my main motivators, main inspiration is music. Okay. So I can be sitting here listening to a song.
Yeah.
Anything in that song, whether it's an instrument or a word he said, a chorus, or just the whole song in general, it can spark literally a whole poem in my head.
Yeah.
And I can just blurt it out. And sometimes I do name it the actual song I heard.
Oh, shit.
Like, We Can't Be Friends. I mean, plenty of people can relate to that because it's an R&B song. It's actually two of them.
Yeah.
So one by Trey Songz and one by Deborah Cox. So I was just riding in the car one time and I heard the song. And then at that time, I think me and my lady was going through something. So it made it easy just to throw that out there. On a piece of paper. Well, mainly my phone. So yeah, music inspires me the most for most of my topics. I would say that.
Is this something that you say it's your hobby?
Yeah.
But do you want it to ever be more than your hobby?
It has potential to do so.
Okay.
Right now I'm trying to connect with other poets and start performing at different places.
Okay.
And trying to get that thing off the ground. And I was thinking about, you probably the first one to go hear this. Well, second people, because I said it on my live. I was thinking about bringing like an open mic to Fort Meade. They used to have one. And I think it was on Thursdays or something like that. And then I think COVID hit and everybody was like, well, forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about just kind of bringing that back at the NCO club to Fort Meade, but we'll see.
It can be really, I mean, when you notice there's a gap somewhere, right? So like there's not an open mic thing happening right now. So there's a gap and you're like, man, someone should do something about that. And maybe you're like, I'll be the person to take that up, man. It can take, I find a lot of the times, sometimes people just need someone else to kind of do something.
True.
And then they hop on.
True. True. So I'm going to see if I can spin that wheel, but again, sometimes I don't even know where to start. So I just start literally in the middle of things like, I'm going to go talk to the garrison commander or something like that. Yeah. I'm going to just talk to a random MWR and see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's one of the ideas from that. But I want it to go somewhere. If it doesn't, it's fine because, again, this is my hobby. Yeah. And it's not for the gram or if anybody says like that. Yeah. It's literally just me just doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just on Fort Meade or have you looked around like kind of like Baltimore, DC? Is there anything like that?
There's a whole bunch of them out there.
I mean, DC can be a drive, you know what I mean? I imagine there's probably a lot of stuff in DC.
Yeah. In Baltimore, there's stuff too. And I've been connected with some poets out there that wanted me to come out and, perform.
Nice.
So I was just trying to see where I can put my footprint, me being military. So it's like, this would be a good place to put some type of footprint. Yeah. Or, open it up to, not only family members, have it for the people who are AIT and stuff like that, just putting a platform out there for people just to speak their mind and to for that moment to be free and do what they love best. Yeah. Whether it's singing, poetry, comedy, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like an all-inclusive, you get up, you're the center of attention, do your art. Yeah. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tell you what, man. I'm impressed by anyone who can get up in front of other people So I've heard of stories where artists, like really famous artists, their name, their brand becomes the thing that people flock to. And so, man, I wish I could remember like a specific story. So I'll just be very generic, but I've heard of artists and, they'll, oh, I'm going to put a mailbox. Here's a mailbox. Yeah. Here's a toilet. And they'll just slap their name on it and like, oh my God, it's so amazing. Like they'll put no effort into it just to kind of see the amount of people that will flock to something, Yeah. But obviously getting that kind of fame, takes some time. Yeah. When your name isn't as known, when you're getting up in front of people and you're putting yourself out there, it can be so scary. It can. That can be so scary. Definitely. I've told people that, I'm still scared, just doing this. If me and you were talking, I'd like to think that I would sound the exact same. Yeah. But there's still a level of fear in, I know that whatever you put out there, there's going to be, trolls and people shitting on it and all that kind of stuff. Of course. And so I'm still very much coming up with different processes for avoiding as much of that as possible. Sure. Like not reading comments, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if there might be something good in there. Yeah. The amount of digging I might have to do to find something like that. I don't know, man.
I will say for me, it's been scary. And the reason why I say it's been scary, I'm a people person, but when you put me on the spot, it's like I don't freeze up, but I just get this anxiety, like of what I can't hear or see what they're thinking. Yeah. So what are they thinking about what I'm saying? Is it effective? Is it, they like kiss my ass or whatever? Like this dude needs to shut up. Yeah. So I think that's my only fear about, actually speaking my poetry to people. I don't think I ever had like a negative comment. I think I had boost one of my posts and this guy came in my inbox like, why am I seeing your ad on my Facebook? I was like, it's an ad.
Yeah, man. That's what it is,
It's an ad. So I don't control
you calling up Charmin and asking them why you seen toilet paper commercials and stuff like that. That's how it works, man.
Oh my God. It was like, did you see the barbecue pit one guy? Did you stay there? Did you? Okay. That's an ad too. So
For real. How's the acting thing going?
It's going.
Let's go. Oh, okay.
It's a slow process.
I got to imagine, man.
It's one of those things. It's either get hired or you don't.
Well, have you because you haven't been up here that long. Have you done many auditions up here?
Honestly, I did a lot.
Have you really?
Yeah, and going from those auditions, I think let's just give it a raw talk. Let's say I did 5. Out of the 5, I think I hired for 2. Okay. 2 of them. I think some of the obstacles I kind of face is work, because some of the stuff they want us to do is like during the week, and trying to get off here is just like they cool, but they gonna look at you crazy like.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. It is. I have tried and failed at so many side hustles because of the full time.
Check.
Check. It has been so difficult, whether it was here or back down in North Carolina, man. Yeah. It has been so difficult, because, some people, they love the military. Some people, they love their jobs. Yeah. They love what they do. Yeah. I'm not one of those people, man. Yeah. I'm just straight up not one of those people. At one point, I joined, but you stay in something for so long. And then for me, my enthusiasm for what I was doing left me.
Yeah, man.
And I think, you can understand this, but, back in North Carolina, you can just, everyone has their breaking point.
Facts.
And I spent so much of myself fighting against this unstoppable force. Yeah. And I went on for as long as I could, trying to look out for the people beside me, for the people below me. Yeah. And I tell you what, it's a big reason why I'm working to set myself up to be my own boss.
I dig that.
When I get out.
I dig that.
Because I got to be the one to make the decisions on what I feel is right and wrong, and where I can, go on a case by case basis. Because when something gets so big, then things are more prone to be very black and white, and it doesn't matter what the details of the situation are.
Yeah,
it's just like, nope, you're fired, or you're this, or you're that, or
get out.
Yeah, exactly. Get out.
Get out.
Get out. Exactly. Yeah.
I commend you for that, because being in somewhere for 20 years is like, you have that mentality when you get out. Yeah. It's hard to kind of like integrate with the civilian world or anywhere else. So it's like, you need to be your own boss for at least a couple of years before you try to integrate anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't know how the transition's going to be. I'll tell you what, right now, doing this, like, I'm not even sure what I can talk about and what I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I try to be vague about certain details when it comes to the military, just because, still being in, I don't know what someone could, anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Me probably saying I'm in the military is probably enough for someone to be like, no, get him, that piece of shit.
They'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Call Congress.
What's his name?
Yeah.
You have somebody in the back that just have that low voice. What's its name?
Yeah.
Get him at the moment.
Yeah.
Please.
I know when I get out, I'm not going to name drop people,
Yeah.
Because I would like to believe that, the person I knew at the time, everyone has a possibility of changing. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to name drop anyone, because, what if this person has gone through a dramatic change in their life and they're doing good things, and, and I don't want to lower myself to some people. Oh my God, bro. So I came back to brag at one point.
Yeah.
And there's a whole new crew of people there.
Yeah.
And so I went into this one company, and, person in charge sat me down, and they were telling me, like, hey, listen, I don't know you. I don't have much experience around you, but here's what I heard about you. And it was just this laundry list of how much of a piece of shit I was, man. Oh my God. Yeah. And so, I didn't like that being done to me.
Yeah.
And so I try to be better. I'm human. I'll fuck up sometimes.
We all do.
Piece of shit.
We all do.
Yeah.
But I think the question came from somebody who's like, what does your reputation say about you? Like, what are you known for?
Yeah.
And just to hear you, went to this company, and then they just came out and it's like, oh, you a piece of shit.
Oh, bro, man. You would have thought I was just, I'm surprised you're not out of the Army. Oh my goodness.
Like, everybody make mistakes. I don't see how
it was all for not jumping too. That was it.
Oh,
there was no other reason. It was just for not jumping.
Oh, hey. Welcome to my world.
Hey.
Welcome to my world.
I was a dirty leg.
Hey, that term, boy, and I'm not going to name drop nobody, but he said it to me, and I said, say it again and see what happens.
Yeah, about to say, man, because, cultures, for the uninitiated, you say dirty leg, and there's going to be a lot of people who have never been in the military. Shit, some people who've probably never jumped that don't know what that term is. But in an airborne community, that's the equivalent of you a bitch.
You a punk. You a bitch.
You a punk ass bitch. That's what it is. That's what it means, So you can say it lightly if you want to, but be careful. Be careful about how you say it. Now, I would too. I would be too. Your leg. I'd be like, don't call me that.
I said, say it again.
Yeah.
He looked at me like, but Sarge. Say it one more time. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Oh, for real.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
For real.
It's but I mean, it's whatever your reputation is. You know what I mean? You just gotta just still be you. I mean, but also I tell leaders, like, there's levels to this stuff. So, and what I mean by that, you gotta have some type of empathy. We're all humans.
Critical. Absolutely critical, man.
You got to have some type of empathy for somebody.
And I think that's a big problem going on nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Is the dramatic lack of empathy.
Facts.
Bro, everywhere. Throw a rock and you'll hit a business or an organization that has too few people and too much to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Good analogy.
Yeah.
Good analogy.
That's where you're at. That's where I'm at. You know?
Yeah.
You go to like, shit, I love going to Dunkin', but guaranteed, they're going to have maybe at best 2 people behind that counter.
True.
Yeah. And a whole drive-through outside and a whole line inside and everywhere, man, everywhere. And then I feel especially bad for like the service industry because I'll go in, I'll see some of these young kids, and it doesn't have to be just young kids. I mean, fuck, some adults, too.
Yeah.
But they're back there, they're behind there, they're working like everyone else, and they are getting their fucking asses handed to them by some entitled, fucking holier than thou piece of shit. And this is me judging.
Dirty leg.
Yeah, dirty leg. Yeah. Where's my mocha frappuccino? Where's my pumpkin spice latte?
I wish they would just like, I know they have like 2 people behind the counter and 1 person like in the drive-thru. Yeah. I wish they would just hire like 2 more people just for those specific hours.
Yeah.
Rush hour.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we having rush hour in the morning from this time. This is your only work hours. And like when we having rush hour during lunch, this is your only work hours.
Yeah.
Just to add 2 more people on, but they, how people are.
Yeah, it's hard. It's everywhere I go.
Yeah.
It's everywhere I go. I have some kids. One's already working. One's about to start getting a job. And I'll go into some places and I'll ask them about, because everyone has these hiring signs out. And I'll start asking them a little bit of questions. And I can tell a lot of them start to get the impression that maybe I'm interested.
Yeah.
Half the time I'm in uniform. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not asking for myself. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that the situation's so desperate.
Not asking for myself.
I'm not asking for myself, man.
Shut up. My son actually, he just got his job. He works in McDonald's, man. He stays in Iowa, so stays with his mom. But this past summer, it was my turn for him to come, and I was like, nah, it's time for him to get a job. He's at that age where he needs to learn what responsibility is and kind of move up the ranks of responsibility. So his mom, did what she did and got him a job at McDonald's. And I was just like, okay, cool. So every time we talk, weekly. And I'm like, how did work go? He's like, it's going. It's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It better go.
Does he want to be working like as much as a young person?
Mean, he never thought of it, he never thought about working because, school has always been a priority. And I say, yeah, school is priority.
School is,
but we need to put you in that mind frame of, prioritizing and responsibility. Now, we're not going to let them fail. Come on now.
Yeah.
We're not going to let them fail. We definitely want you, we're not going to let you work like out all types of hours at McDonald's. You're not going to have them for like late night
for real.
It's not going to happen like that.
But you're not going to be at that 24-hour drive through.
After you get out of school, a few hours is cool. And then you have to come back to, home and do homework. Yeah. We want to put him through that so he can understand what responsibility and prioritizing.
For real.
Maybe he'd be like, okay, I can't do a job. That's even though it may look bad, but it's actually good. He's acknowledging his workload and how much he can take.
It's super, super important, man. Yeah. I realized it took me a while to realize what my limits were.
Yeah.
And I used to be the kind of person who would take on way too much.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to, I don't know, quite honestly, man.
Yeah.
But that's something I need to dig into. But I would. And I definitely have learned my lesson. I've burned myself out way too many times.
Man, burnout is real.
That's a good thing that y'all are teaching him that now, all that stuff.
Yeah, he wants to work for Nintendo. I don't know if Nintendo is in China or Japan, wherever they are, but he wants to do game design and he wants to work for Nintendo. And I'm like, that's good. I dig it.
Doing what?
Game design.
Game design.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You don't have to, I want him to play sports. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I let it go.
Yeah, my dad was the same way.
I let it go at 10. 7 years later, I'm like, you still can be a fullback. It's okay.
So is he chasing after, so when he says he wants something, right?
Yeah.
Does he go after it?
I would say yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I think we had to,
That's hard.
I had to send him, in certain directions because, he never thought about going to college. He was just like, I just want to work in Nintendo. How you supposed to get there?
Yeah.
So I think it's important as a parent to kind of lay out the map work for him. Like, hey, you got to go to college and get this degree. And from there, everybody, leans on experience. So where's your experience going to come from? So you really don't have any. So you're going to be the lowest man on the totem pole. You know that? He said, I don't care. I just want to work. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a grind right there. I applaud him on that one. So yeah.
If he's wanting to do something that requires a degree, in game development, I definitely think that they're looking for people who I don't want anyone who doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
So definitely looking for a degree, definitely. But I know I tell my kids because I know the two. So the oldest one, I think she's getting close to figuring things out, but when they were telling me they didn't know what they wanted to do, I was like, understand this. You don't have to go to a traditional 4-year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of technical schools where you can go and you can learn something for way cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I ain't going to be able to pay your college bills.
I'm definitely not.
I love you. I do. I pay for mine with the military. So I was like, just make sure that you don't feel obligated to follow any one path. Figure out what you want and figure out the smartest way of doing that.
Yeah.
So
I always say, as long as you're doing something.
Yeah.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're doing something that's, being upscale citizen, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to simplify things. And so because I notice a lot of the time, something might happen and I might feel a certain way about it. Mm-hmm. And if I ever feel conflicted, on how I'm feeling about something, I always ask myself, is this sticking to my rules, the rules I want to live by. And for me, it's, I want everyone to be able to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. As long as it doesn't interfere or hurt anyone else.
Check.
And if we can do it as fair as possible, that'd be cool too. I understand that, that's a little bit more difficult,
Yeah. I understand.
Because different people have different versions of what fair is, you know what I mean?
They say different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. And what's fair for one group might not be fair for another.
Facts.
But I think it's really cool that your son's learning that now. My oldest, she's getting there, but she's having a hard time, man. Mm-hmm. She's having a hard time. She has spectrum autism.
Mine has Asperger's.
Okay. Yeah. I think Asperger's is like, does that fall on the spectrum? Is that like a spectrum thing, or is that like its own separate?
It's its own separate.
Is it own separate thing?
Yeah.
I know for her, it can just, so social cues, social awareness is the big signature display of what it is to have what she has, the spectrum autism thing.
Yeah.
And so, understanding things that are easy to understand for a normal person, for her, it can be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So, she just turned 18. And for anyone turning 18, that's a big adjustment, because now you're a full-time adult.
Yeah.
And people are going to treat you like an adult once they find out you're 18.
Fact.
And a lot of people aren't going to have even sympathy for you.
Nope.
When they find out this or that or the other thing.
Yeah, very true.
The Asperger's thing, what comes along with that?
Honestly, I haven't researched too much on it.
Fair enough.
I was first time actually hearing about it, I was in recruiting, and the guy came in, very normal. I'm not trying to say he's abnormal, but anything, but came in. Conversation was great. We talked about the Army. We had him test. He tests really high. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we get down to, hey, you have any medical issues?
Yeah.
Then he just said, oh, just Asperger's. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And
no big deal.
No big deal. So I go to kind of process him. Yeah. And as far as getting him ready to test and do the physical.
Yeah.
And my station commander called me back. He's like, do you know what Asperger's is? I said, no, I don't know what that is. But I thought it was like he got a burger and it kind of didn't sit well in his stomach.
The name did nothing to help me understand what it was. It didn't. I was like, this is a very,
So he was like, yeah, it's a form of autism, man. He can't process it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, my son, he doesn't like loud noises. He's just because I play loud music everywhere. I'm in the house, loud music, in the car, loud music, working out, loud music. So I think we were driving back from the airport when I picked him up, and he's just like, "Can you turn it down just a little bit?" Like,
did you know at the time?
No, we literally just found out January of this year.
Gotcha. So all this time, did you ever get a sense like something's different?
I did, and his mom did too. So we looked at. She already had the things in motion to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
It's just the doctor's appointment was kind of spaced out like 2-3 months later. So she let me know, and I'm just like, oh, damn. Okay. All right. We own it. What do we do? And then I think I did a little bit of read up on it, but not too much.
Yeah. So I would not consider myself an expert in every ailment that each of my children has, you know what I mean? I know enough to, I know how I need to adjust myself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's been a huge, so you share a biological child, right? You don't have any stepkids or?
So I do have one stepkid.
You have one stepkid? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Because I was about to get into something like, first off, because you told me that yours lives in Ohio, right? Your biological kid lives in Ohio.
So I have 3 biological.
I'm not trying to dig into your shit, but
it's my testimony. So I have 3 biological kids. Yeah, and I have one step. So my son lives in Iowa, and he's 17. Yeah, and then my 12-year-old, she lives in North Carolina, and my 5-year-old lives in North Carolina as well. Yeah. Then my step daughter, she lives here.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Trying to learn, diving into the deep end of parenthood for me. Because when I met, all my kids, what was the spectrum, man? It was 12, 9, and one had just turned 5. Yeah. And it has been an adjustment.
I bet.
It has been an adjustment because everyone loves to pretend like they know what they would do in any situation. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And what you being a parent, I'm sure you've heard it too, man. Right. Like, I wouldn't let my kids do this and I wouldn't let my kids do that. If my kids did, I would do this and all that kind of stuff. And I was like that too. I was like, I'm coming into parenthood and I'm like, I'm not going to let these kids do this. I'm not going to let these kids do that. I was a young bachelor and I was living in an apartment and my apartment was so clean and organized. And I was like, this is how I'm always going to live. I don't care if these kids going to keep this house looking good. Bro, do not step into my house. Don't step into my house. Don't step into my house. I'm trying to not let judgment affect me so much, but that judgment might hurt. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I definitely had to reframe my perspective. I had to reevaluate what my priorities were, that kind of thing, And I tell you what, man, things are getting really, really good. Yeah. But it was not without dipping into that valley. Yeah. Things definitely got a little rough before they got better.
Of course. You have to kind of sit. The way that we were raised, and everybody's raised different, but I would say our generation, it's different from the kids that we're raising now. Yeah. A whole entirely different. Yeah. It's the TikTok and the goddamn Roblox. And bro, these motherfuckers are bills. That's what they are. Bro. Bills, that's what they didn't tell you back in the day. They didn't say nothing about that shit. They just like, oh, you gonna see when you grow older. God rest my grandmother and my grandfather. I love them. Yeah. I love them to death. God rest their soul. Yeah. But you motherfuckers didn't tell me that these motherfuckers was gonna be bills. If I knew that, I would have not signed up for this type of goddamn bill,
man. And oh my goodness, I've learned, I can go and I can talk to my mom about something, and she'll be like, I know how it is, but like, she definitely has that tone of like, you were that asshole. I was. I recognize that now. I was that asshole. But I will say this. One benefit to being the step parent is that when the kids do something asinine, when they do something just out of pocket or crazy or just like, what is going on? I can at least look at their mom and be like, that's you. That's all you right there. I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with this.
This is you. Now, that was me earlier. I'll admit that. Kicking over the can and all that shit. That was me. Yeah. And this right here. Yeah. This is you.
Yeah. I have been to Baltimore, Washington Hospital, Medical Center. Mm-hmm. So much.
Really?
So much, man, because these kids are just trying to jump over fences. Or,
that was me.
Playing at the playground, and we've had broken collarbones, we've had concussions, we've had all. I mean, they're all okay. They're all okay. They're kids, you know what I mean? They bounce back so easily. But it's very interesting watching them. We all are, me, them, all so different. It's really neat watching them learn.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get better.
True.
Yeah,
but. This is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is you earlier.
Yeah.
Because I will say this. Now my kids, they're not daredevils or nothing like that. They're just different than I am, and I that it makes me emotional to think about that, because how I used to be. I was jumping off of this, and I was, when as a teenager, running around chasing tail and stuff like that. My son is totally opposite of that. My daughters are totally opposite of that. Very opposite. They are daddy's little girls though.
Yo, yeah.
They will be like, "Hey, daddy, I want to come with you today. I definitely need to come chill with you today." I'm like, "All right, come on." But when they get to my house, I kind of set my house and set the tone for it as, I'm the king, you're the princesses.
Okay.
I'm not always right. I will say that.
All right.
I'm not always right. But y'all will respect my house.
Yeah.
You gotta put the house.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Because you will respect my house.
How's the co-parenting thing go?
It depends on, with anybody, relationally wise, when you break something off, it's always that dark year or two of co-parenting.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate you. Don't be having nobody around my kids. Don't be doing that. But now, over time, it definitely has sprouted up into something better than it is. Yeah. I can say that I am very great co-parenting with all of my kids' mothers. And that sounds very Papa was a Rolling Stone type stuff, but it's okay.
No, man. I mean, and it takes two.
Yeah.
So kudos to the other one for coming to the table,
Yeah, and
not everyone does.
And I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not always, an easy person to get along with. If it makes sense.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
So, I credit, therapy to my self-development.
Have you actually talked to anyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Military one source always come through.
Really?
Yeah.
They've worked for you? Man, so, I've tried, man. I've tried.
It's a gamble, man. It's a whole gamble with these guys.
Yeah.
So and also you can find your own therapist and see if military wants. TRICARE will pay for it.
Yeah, I'm trying. No joke. So I went to behavioral health, and I was like, "Hey, I got all this going on." Right.
Check.
And when the woman kind of like in processing me, listening to me. Taking down all the notes and all that kind of stuff. When she took it back to, I guess, like the actual therapist, she came back and she's like, "Yeah, he says that you're doing good enough." You
really?
Yeah. You don't. Yeah. We don't need to see you. You're doing good enough.
I would have choked her and be like, "I'm doing good enough now,
bro." She was good. She was good. She felt, you could tell, she felt really bad.
So it was
she
just
felt bad. Yeah. It's whoever she just got done talking to.
Yeah.
Was like, "Oh yeah, no, he's doing good enough."
Yeah.
And man, I tell you what, it seems like, no one takes anything seriously until someone's crossed a line.
Facts.
Facts. And now all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, well, why didn't you go to this? We have these resources, all this kind of stuff." And
I look them dead in their face and say,
"Yeah, for real.
This bitch.
Yeah, for real though. And I feel like that's, I try to imagine what I'm going through is what a lot of other people are going through.
It is.
So what person out there, I feel like I'm lucky enough to, I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm letting the books be my therapy, and I'm trying to make the connections between what they're writing about and how I'm feeling. Yeah. I have a very supportive wife,
nice.
Having a supportive partner, and I try to imagine people that don't have those things. What are those people that, maybe they've been turned away and now they snap. What if they go kill themselves? What if they hurt someone else? What if they do something else, that you can't undo,
Yeah.
And it scares me to think of the world we're in right now, where it just seems like there's just not enough help out there for everyone. It's a scary thought, man.
It is.
I think about it a lot. I try not to catastrophize, but
you using big words. I went to a public school. No, some people say that there's not enough resources out there, and I agree. I'm just glad that I have the resources that I have for what my mental health is.
Yeah,
but my outlet for my mental health is poetry.
Yeah,
it has always been poetry. So I've written stuff about depression. I think you've seen heard the poem that I did for suicide awareness.
Yeah, I heard that one.
I wrote that when I was with one of the soldiers who's I had to overwatch.
Yeah, but
I anything that's going on in front of me, I just write about. And I've wrote something about being a recruiter, like being a lion recruiter. I will never be a lion recruiter. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's my outlet to dealing with any issues I have.
I like so you posted something recently, and the very end of it, you said time heals all wounds or something like that, but does it?
Oh, yeah.
What was the line?
They have a saying, time heals all wounds or something like that. But will it?
But will it? Yeah.
But will it?
Man, and that, I was like, that's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one, because there are some people that will believe that in either fate or God or that something will intervene and do the work for them, And, if one chooses to believe that and that makes you a better person, rock on, rock on. But I feel like, they say, I prayed to God to give me strength, so he put me through difficult situations. I prayed to God for wisdom, so he gave me problems to solve. I feel like, whatever you choose to believe in, right, there is work for you to do, And so when you said, does time heals all wounds, but does it? Man, I'm working really hard, to take action when I feel like there's an area of my life that needs to be improved. Putting more emphasis on me. Other people, I can't control them, and I can't expect them to change. But I can work on myself, and so I got to do something.
I hear you. And I think the line was, "Things get better over time."
Okay.
But will it?
Yeah.
I think that was the line for it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What were your thoughts when you wrote that one?
What was the name of the poem, Lord Jesus? It's called Pain.
Pain.
So with Pain, I think I was listening to a song about, this person was just in a broken place, and I kind of related to it. Everybody deals with some type of sort of pain.
Most definitely.
And so I was sitting I think I was in I was in a room. I think it was dark, and I just started going. Like, I just started going, and of course it's a short poem. So sometimes I kind of end my stuff just where it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was always in a bad place. when some of these poems like pain, belittled, and I just kind of just use my outlet instead of resorting to the permanent temporary decision. Does it make sense? You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
No, like, I get you.
I don't even want to say it. It's just like the permanent temporary decision.
No, I get you.
So
I get you. I've been there.
Oh, me too.
I've been there, man.
I've been there.
There was, yeah.
And I think my first time being there in that space, I had a conversation with my grandmother, God rest her soul.
Yeah.
And that kind of took me out of that mind frame. But what came out of there is I need something to, she's always been spiritual. So she said, rely on God. And I'm just like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But, what else? Like, give me something else.
Yeah.
So I needed something else to utilize. But when poetry came, it takes my mind off of any of that when I'm in that, because I can put it on paper and that's my pain on paper.
Yeah.
And it allows people to read my pain and connect to it. Yeah. And they connect with something else. And then somebody else connect and somebody else connects.
Yeah.
And that's the point of me doing my poetry, is to connect everybody.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Everybody. Anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that poem right there, I was in one of those moments again, and it was pain for me. So I wanted everybody to feel my pain by just writing about it.
Yeah, yeah. Mine was I don't know what caused you to get into that, and I don't feel like I'm the poetry type of person. I know for me though, I know mine was a relationship.
Yeah, it's always something dealing with relationships.
Yeah, it's some relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if there are any other categories. I wonder if someone's like, well, no, duh, dumbass. I don't know. If there's another way, for someone, financial, I know that's one. Yeah. I know that's one.
Financials definitely put you in one of those, I'm about to go rob four banks.
I didn't necessarily want to die.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to stop.
That's the main thing.
I wanted all the abuse, and I wanted all the torture. It felt like I just wanted it to be over,
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I try to think of, if me now could talk to myself. I try to think about, what is it now? It's 2022.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
If I could talk to myself 8 years ago. And I feel like, like you say, your poetry, like you want to connect.
Yeah.
I feel like what kind of pulled that trigger on me starting the podcast, right? What really kind of like pushed me over the edge of starting the podcast.
Nice.
I'm thinking about that 2014 me. And I want to reach that person through this. So when I talk to people about things, and that's why I want to talk to a wide variety of people, because, my experience might not reach a lot of people, but if I talk to a wide enough variety, I'm really hoping that at some point, what is said on this could maybe help someone through something tough, whether it be, preventing them from doing something permanent, or maybe just figuring out some sort of problem that they have been dealing with for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I think what you and I are doing are very, very similar. We have very similar motivations for what we're doing.
We do.
Yeah, man.
Like Batman and Robin. Who's Batman?
You.
You can't.
You're Batman.
But I think that's the ultimate goal for everybody, to make something that hurts them stop.
Yeah.
Make something stop. So that's
like you said though, man, it's so the whole reason that you wrote the first book that you did, right, was to connect on that broken level. That you started with vulnerability. And I think that for some people, you hear people say it all the time, like, I love this person so much more than I love myself. I love my kids. I love my partner. I love whatever it is more than I love myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like if you can't love yourself, then you're limiting the love that you can give to other people.
I agree.
I'm not saying that you can't love someone. I'm just saying that love is flawed. That it's I love the analogy of when the plane, you put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on someone else.
Yeah.
I'm
total opposite.
Are you putting it on someone else before you put it on you?
I put a lot of people before me. And I think I wrote a poem about that too, but I put a lot of people before me, and not only my kids. It's just random people. Yeah. I would rather, if that was the case, we're in an airplane and it's going down. Yeah, I would rather put it on you and then put it on myself. Yeah. So if I'm messing it up, I feel like you can help me out. Like, hey, you said pull it. Like, I didn't hear the instructions. I didn't. So put it like, yeah. So hey, help me.
Yeah, man. I eventually want to talk to people that know what the fuck they're talking about. I'd love to talk to some sort of like psychologist or, someone who's, really dedicated to, understanding this kind of thing.
That'd be dope.
I think that'd be really cool because I don't know shit. I just know myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just know myself.
Personal experience.
Yeah. That's all I know. Yeah. And what I've been through. And I like to make connections about what I've been through and what other people have been through. Yeah. You can say like, I've been through A and this person's been through B. Yeah. Okay. Yes. If you get down to specifics, we've been through different things, but I bet if we peel back that onion, I bet we're going to find out that we actually have shared a lot of the same feelings, abandonment, broken hearts. Everyone feels pain. Everyone feels pain.
Financials.
Yeah.
It's an onion.
Stress, anxiety, all that kind of shit, I think it'd be really cool for people to find those commonalities more often. It's scary how divided the world is.
Yeah. You notice that too?
Oh, bro, that was another motivator for what I'm doing right now. Yeah. I try to be very open when I invite people onto this, and I tell them, listen, I just want to talk to you. I find you interesting. But if we end up disagreeing on something, I don't want that to be the end of the conversation. To me, I feel like we could use a disagreement to find a solution.
A common ground.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah. You think about more often than not, we all agree on what we want.
True.
No one wants anyone to be homeless. Yeah. No one wants anyone to be hungry. Yeah. No one wants anyone to go through, any sort of abuse, physical, mental, no one wants that stuff. We all want the same thing. Yeah. It's always how we get there. No one wants mass shootings. Yeah. No one in their right mind wants mass shootings, but how we get there. And I think we get so stuck on our solutions to the way we think things should be done. Oftentimes, people get a little irritated at me because I can see validity from points on both sides. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And if we can explore things a little bit more, I think we could make a lot more progress.
Always.
In those areas,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
It's all about, to me, sometimes it's teamwork that makes the dream work.
It can be.
Thank you.
Romeo Verde.
Romeo Verde.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, I think that there's a lot of stuff that gets in the way. I think there's a lot of stuff that gets in the way of shit. I'll talk about me and Chrissy. Mm-hmm. We were meant for each other. I can't imagine another person on this planet that is more compatible for me than this person.
I dig that.
But, we'll get into some shit sometimes.
Of course.
And a lot of the time it's either a misunderstanding or a miscommunication. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time it's someone's personal baggage. I might have been through some shit and she'll do something. and it may trigger some past experience.
Yeah.
That conjures up all the negative chemicals and makes me start, I'll get nervous or scared or something, and then I react in a way, and it starts some shit,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, I feel like if people were to examine themselves a little bit more,
I think this should be the first part of before you get into a relationship.
Fuck yeah.
It's just kind of find like what's your dislikes and what's your likes, but understand, and I'm saying this to everybody, it changes over time. Over a year, you learn more stuff about yourself, and like, okay, well, I really don't like that anymore. I like this more.
Most definitely.
So, people call me all the time for advice. I like to say I'm the Love Jones sometimes.
Hell yeah.
And I love talking to people about relationships. I love it because at the end of the day, they always be like, well, you really helped me through that because you put a different perspective in front of me.
You gotta have it.
So I take people through the basics of, you need to love yourself. What does loving myself look like? And granted, I tell people, you can't love yourself and trying to love somebody else. It's either you figure that part out first, like, all right, I love myself.
Yeah.
And it's over and done with. I know what I want. I know who I am.
Yeah.
So now you can move into the next stage of, I want to love somebody. So it takes some time to figure out what you are and who you are and what you like.
It does.
Because
it's not an easy answer.
Being a teenager and coming into manhood or womanhood is two totally different stages and totally two different experiences.
Yeah.
Off top. So you're going to develop a different taste for love.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tell people just start with that first.
Yeah.
But if you're already like, and I'm not trying to bring people ages up, if you're in your 30s and 40s, I feel like you should have some type of basis of what you like and who you are. Some people don't have the full description, but you should have like, well, at least one sentence in that goddamn thing.
Something, right?
Like something. So you can build off of that to start to love yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it can be scary though. And I think when you say like you should, I think you should, some people aren't because it can be work. It can be work digging into yourself and trying to figure those things out.
Yeah. There's these things called childhood traumas that I never knew about.
Right.
And my partner kind of like put me on. I'm like, childhood traumas?
Right.
What is this?
And you hear about some things that some kids went through. They're adults now, and you hear about what they went through, and you're like, oh man, like I have nothing like that in my life. Yeah. I must have had no childhood trauma.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it's natural. I think most of us, and if not all of us, are going to have some level of childhood trauma because trauma is, a critical shift in the way that you think about things. Like you thought the world was this, and now it's this.
Yeah.
And it causes you to start putting up barriers and walls and,
Facts.
And you don't realize that until later. All of a sudden you're an adult and you're acting a certain way. And to you, that's just what survival has been. You've been surviving this whole time this way. So it must be a good thing because that's how I've been able to get through my whole life. But then turns out what it's actually doing, I'm sure at one point, you were in a situation where you needed to do that to survive.
Yeah.
But once you get out of that situation, some people will hold on to those tendencies and those behaviors, and they'll keep acting that way, and they'll keep telling themselves, well, this is just how the world is, and this is how you got to be. And it's not.
Nah, it's not.
No.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
That's not how they go, but have a great day.
Yeah.
Just have a good day. But everything requires work. Everything requires some type of work, and I commend you for saying that you and your partner went through some stuff.
Oh hell yeah!
But at the end of the day, y'all had some type of victory, whether it's small, big, medium, whatever. It was some type of victory.
Yeah,
and we just have to celebrate those small victories. I say I'm not the easiest person to be with, and me and my partner, we definitely bump heads on a lot of issues. But I tell her like, it's good because it helps me learn who you are and learn new things about you, because every year is something different.
Yeah.
Whether it's, physically, mentally, or spiritually, there's always something different that you can learn about your partner.
Most definitely.
Always.
I think one thing too people have to be accepting of is that, we change as people.
Yeah.
young 20 Steven thought he knew himself. Mid 30s. That kid was a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know shit about shit.
You don't know jack shit.
You don't know.
Well, who's Jack?
We gotta be able to provide the people around us the opportunity to change, and I think we should encourage people to, when they find out new information that they adopt, that they feel will make them a better person. If someone feels like they need to change something about themselves in order to improve, and that means that people are going to change. And that can be really scary for some people.
Change is always scary because it's the fear of the unknown. You don't know what it brings. So, I as far as change, I don't like too much of it, but I'm receptive to it. Like,
too much can be bad. Too much of anything can be bad.
That's like somebody coming in your house and be like, you know what? This couch ain't shit. This gotta go. Oh, this TV stand. Shit. Get it out of here. I'm like, whoa. Say something about my TV, I'm gonna punch you in your damn throat.
Like if Chrissy came in one day and she was like, hey, what do you think about polygamy? I'd be like, all right, deuces. Have a good day.
Hey, that's becoming more of the norm now with relationships, is polygamy.
You know what? And if that works for you, rock the fuck on, man.
That's your prerogative.
Go for it. You need to be the best version of you can be. You need to be authentic, and you need to be happy with the way that you are living your life. That is not for me. So that would be definitely a thing. Is like, that's too much change.
That's too much.
That's too much change. And now what I need you to do is I need you to decide what's best for you.
Do you want to do this or not? But it's too much. It's too much change. But I tell people, because I think that came in the conversation when I was speaking with a young man that I knew back home, and he also joined the service. But he's starting to get into this whole polygamy, this, polygamy, that. And I'm like, yo, you trying to do like two? Because there's different types. Like, are you trying to do like two women? It's like, yeah, I'm trying to do that.
And the arrangements can be so different.
Is it sexual, or is it like financial, or is it like a kingdom thing? It's a little bit of mixture. Okay, well, are you gonna have are you not thinking that there's gonna be two personalities in your damn house? Like it's gonna be a serious situation. Exactly. So how would you balance? I'm having a trouble just balance my partner plus these goddamn kids. Well, I can't include another woman in there.
We talked about limits, and I know mine. that is one woman.
I mean, if she came to me and said some shit like that, I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna be. Hey, I have to go. I think my mama's calling me. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna move back home with my mama.
For real.
I'm gonna move back home with my baba.
For real.
But yeah, that's hey, to each his own.
I think everyone's got to be honest with themselves, though, right? Because, okay, you're coming to me with something you feel is very, very important. You feel like this is critical to you being authentic. Rock on for that. Cool. I'm glad that you're choosing authenticity. Okay. But the other person, and if she came to me with, something that I was just like, no, that can't be how I live my life. A mistake there would be someone just kind of like, being kind of lax with it. Oh yeah, sure. And going along with it. Right. I feel like it's the same thing whenever people, if one person cheats on another one and they both agree to keep going with the relationship, but they both agreed, right? Okay. But the person who got cheated on keeps on bringing up the cheat. Like I know me and Chrissy have talked about it. I was like, if one of us were to cheat on the other one, like that's it. Like mutual dunzos. You know what I mean? Because I don't think either one of us could keep on living, not being sure about what the other person's doing. So I feel like, that's a mistake you could make, is if someone comes to you with something that you're uncomfortable with, hey, can I have time to think about this, please?
I've cheated and I've been cheated on. I definitely, I was the person how can I put this? Once it's done to you, it brings out a different type of you. It sparks a different light bulb in you, and it's like, damn, you did this to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want to condemn that other person. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're the individual who did it too. But everybody needs to have that conversation while dating. Like, what is your outlook on cheating? Like,
yeah,
is if I cheat, is it over with? Like, I've told myself everybody deserves second chances. Mm-hmm. I believe it because, you know, we all put ourselves in certain situations.
Yeah.
Now, if I give you a second chance and you do it again, I'm not so nice the second time.
No, I don't think you should be.
Not necessarily to you, but also to the guy as well.
For me, you know, it all depends on the situation. Like, to me, I think that if your person is the one who did the cheating, regardless of who they cheated on with, you know what I mean? Like you were my person, you know, so the bulk of the blame I feel is on you.
Okay.
You know, and not to say that the other person's completely innocent, but like if they weren't aware, you know, that's one thing for me. Like if they weren't made aware, you know, I don't see how I could possibly hold any grudge against that person.
Understood.
If they weren't aware, if they were aware, I guess to me, you know, when I have been cheated on, I have I've put the blame entirely on the person that I was with.
Yeah, it's always you want to take it up with your actual partner.
Yeah,
you definitely do.
Yeah,
but sometimes, you know, in emotional state and being broken, it's like you start to point fingers at everybody.
I say this as someone who's had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah.
In the moment, trust. I was not composed.
You'd be like, who and why and when? Don't try not to badger your partner because it becomes even worse within inside you. Like, oh my God. And then you start questioning yourself, like,
right?
Am I not what?
Right? What was I doing wrong? What was I doing to cause them to cheat?
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot to get to the point where you're wise enough to realize it wasn't you.
Yeah.
If the person had a problem so bad that they cheated on you, right? They should have just come to you. They should have said something or maybe just end the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, hey, the relationship's done.
Yeah.
You know,
I think people can get over stuff like that. It depends on your forgiveness level.
Yeah, I believe that too. I believe there are people out there who could be cheated on, who could successfully continue a relationship. Yeah. I know, and right now I know one person in particular, you know, but as you know, they're still together. You know, and I'm hoping that the relationship is good. So I know that there are people out there who believe some, you know, batshit crazy stuff. There are people who live in ways that are absolutely, I find, fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So I'm sure there are people out there who could be cheated on who could move past that.
I tell them it's to each his own every time.
Yeah.
I don't, when I give advice, I'm not giving advice for tell you, hey, you need to do this. It's just something you can hear that's different.
Yeah.
So I believe anybody can, you know, can get over stuff like that. It's not gonna happen like that instant. Like I cheated.
Nope.
Get over it right now.
Nope.
Get over it right.
You know, you want to go to Applebee's? Get that 2 for $20
with some lemonade. You want to go to Applebee's?
Hell no.
It's just different things, man. And, to each his own.
Yeah.
I'm a forgiver. I'm a forgiver, man. I don't like to have
to a flaw.
Yeah. Everybody's not perfect. It's some way of fashion. Somebody's going to disappoint you. You should already have it in your mind. You're going to get disappointed some way, form of fashion.
I agree. So, I think you should absolutely live with the foundation.
Yeah.
That people are flawed.
Yeah.
And they're going to disappoint you at times. And I think that I think expectations are a killer.
Yeah, it is. That's why the dating phase is always great. Yeah. To have these conversations.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about kids. Yeah. Like, be honest.
Yeah.
Some people do send representatives because they're so in awe about how somebody looks. Like, oh, you're fine. I definitely got to have you and most keep definitely. You. So I told my partner, I said, I mean, you can go out here and dudes are going to hit on you, but they don't know you like I know you. Mm-hmm. They don't know what makes you cry. They don't know when you are struggling with something. What do you need? Yeah. Or what do you need after you had a long day after work?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to eat? You know, they get those basics of your color, favorite things, favorite foods, but they don't know you from a can of paint right now. They just know the exterior, like you look beautiful, and they're gonna say it over and over. I need to get you. So that's why I'm, a big winner, because I know you like that, and I'm a keeper.
Hell yeah.
But nobody's gonna know you like how I know you.
Nope.
And you're gonna have to start this phase over again with somebody like, okay,
yep.
How many kids you got? Okay, great. What do you think about this? So I never sent my representative to her. I always kept it real with her.
Good.
Regardless.
Good.
I may have did some things that was kind of like, oh, okay, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
But it's the point. It's that perspective of changing. Like, I change.
Yeah.
You change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best people I know, the absolute best people I know, have done things in their life that are real easy to judge. Yeah. I know some people that would hear, oh my goodness, they were addicted to drugs, or they were violent, or
they were on that stuff.
Yeah, they did this deplorable act or that, but they have come out of that situation.
Yeah.
They've learned from it and they've become a better person.
Yeah.
Man, those are the people.
Yeah.
Those are the people, man.
Yeah.
I think it was like, I forgot what Tyler Perry movie it was in, but I heard this thing and it stuck with me. It was like that 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where it's like, the best person that you can have will have like that 80% of what you're looking for.
True.
And it's always, what, ends up catching someone's eyes. Oh, this person has that other 20 they don't have.
Yeah.
But then that's all they have is that 20%.
It is true.
I like that.
Because that's what I was kind of looking for when I, married my first time, my first marriage. I was looking for the 20% that she didn't have.
Yeah.
She doesn't like me talking about her nationally, but I won't say your name, but
yeah,
I will say, I was looking for that 20% of what she didn't have all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Until one day we were just like, well, we're going in two different opposite directions, so we need to just kind of let this go.
Yeah.
But that 20% is a real actual analogy right there. That's a real saying right there.
I think for me, what really killed me, because I'm on my third marriage right now. Mm-hmm. I think for me, what I did really, really bad, I feel like I was putting expectations on people that I wasn't clear about.
Yeah.
I didn't take the time to get to know them well enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was only, for the first marriage, that's definitely what it was.
Facts.
I definitely put too much expectations on her.
Yeah.
And eventually she told me, what she wanted, mm-hmm. and it was different than what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And I'll say that one ended in a way that, we've talked, like, I think once since we split, and that was like only because, like, for like the clearances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, we don't care if you're not talking to this person. You're going to figure out this information. You know what I mean?
I'll tell people in that situation, they want to just know, they don't care what happened in your marriage.
No.
And what I mean by that, they already expect that your spouse is going to talk bad about you.
Yeah. What
they're going to say is like, oh, he took $5 million out of my account.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for. Do you have that ability to overthrow the government?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not, hey, he left the teeth up all the time and pissed everywhere and didn't clean it up. And I got tired of that. If I was investigating, I'd be like, cool story. So about those bank accounts.
For real.
$5 million?
For real. For real.
What do you do with it?
Yeah. So, and I know my second one, again, that was another one where I gave the benefit of the doubt way too often.
Yeah.
Way too often. Yeah. I didn't take the time to get to really learn this person.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to admit it, but it's part of my story.
Yeah.
You know, I thought marriage would fix things.
Oh.
I tried to earn their confidence.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it turns out that nothing was ever going to be good enough.
Dang.
You know, and I learned that too late.
Dang.
I learned that too late.
You should cuss them out.
A lot of things happened. You know, a lot of things happened in that relationship.
It's too late to apologize.
Bro. And like you, man, I'm not gonna name drop, you know.
We can't because, you know, the people that we will name drop will definitely be like, you know, I'm gonna take you down.
I'm gonna sue this motherfucker.
I'm gonna get ya.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ya.
How much longer do I have you for, man? I don't want to keep you too long.
Honestly.
Is it about that time?
We got about 24 minutes.
24 minutes?
24.
Cool. All right.
So
yeah, I know that, you know, you got stuff to get to.
And I'm hungry too.
And you're hungry too? You hungry too? What do you have going on in your future? I want to hear about what's happening next for you.
So I'm going to be working on I think my 25 meter target is I'm going to be working on a journal to accompany this book.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be a 365 journal. It's going to have different topics for every month, every week, where you can kind of, you know, help you with your healing process.
Hell yeah.
Or just give you something to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just I want to talk about pain today and different topics of pain of this month.
Yeah.
That's what's coming up. And I'm looking for a drop date of November. Probably be a little bit after that. We'll see. I just got invited to this entertainment network. So we're going to try to set up some shows for me around Baltimore and Washington, D.C.
Nice.
So I can put that out whenever I get that.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm going to keep dropping stuff like his videos. I'm working on my next video for my book. It's called No Space for Me as well. So it's going to be shot by Dame Dollar. And he...
Make sure you send me like links and stuff like that too, so that way I can post them up.
I got you.
Yeah.
You're going to get the first. I appreciate your support, seriously.
Yo.
I was surprised when you and Blanton got the book. I was like, wow. Y'all really surprised. I almost put me in tears for a minute. I was like, dang. Because I don't get support like that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember vivid like when it was like, I had a birthday party when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm going around, hey, I'm having a birthday party, printing out flyers, handing them out. Yeah. Everybody say, I'm coming.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
Man. Nobody showed up except for one person. Yeah. And she's my best friend to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy. Her name is Stacy. She's my best friend to this day.
Nice.
Because she showed up and I'm just like, it's only my brothers and sisters was there, you know, like my immediate family. But as far as like support like that, I never really got support like that. So I appreciate the support. But
it's because I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Yeah, I find what you do speaks to my heart, and it's what I want the world to be. So I gotta support it, man.
Yeah.
If I don't support it, what am I? A hypocrite? You know?
Hypocrite.
Motherfucking hypocrite.
But yeah, I got the No Space for Me that should be coming out soon. And then the journal, and I should be having some shows that should be set up sometime soon. I get that links and everything to you, but that's pretty much all I got.
Ask a favor of you.
Yes.
Whenever you have something coming up, let me know.
Of course.
And we'll do this again.
Of course.
Because I think there's a lot to talk about. I think you and I could go into a lot of things, you know, and just like a few people I've talked to so far, you know, we talked about some things, right? Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure there's a handful of things we did talk about.
Yeah.
That you could just go into detail with. You could go into real detail with, man. So the next time you have something going on, I definitely want to talk to you again. We can plug that and we can start going into some other stuff, because you and I are doing a very similar thing.
Let's do it.
And I love collabs.
Collaborations. I'm down. Anytime you need me, just let me know. I will definitely make space.
Let the people know all of your usernames, Instagram. I don't know what are you on? So, where can people find you? Websites?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
First and foremost, you can catch me on Instagram at Poet Romeo Verde. That's spelled Romeo Verde, Verde.
For the Spanish uninitiated.
Yeah, without the apostrophe, please.
Okay.
Put it all together. You have Poet Romeo Verde on Instagram. On Facebook, you can put Romeo Verde. I'm have a page on there. I'm on TikTok as Poet Romeo Verde. I'm also on YouTube as Romeo Verde as well. And my book is on Amazon. You type in Romeo Verde Hard to Heal and it will pull up. So definitely check that book out. You would not be disappointed. I'm getting good reviews on it. A lot of people are connecting with it. Mm-hmm. It was a bestseller for like a week, and then it kind of plummeted. But we're not gonna talk about that.
We're not gonna talk about it.
We're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, man. I like to imagine that you're in one of those situations where once that glass tips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it'll happen. Because I see how much work you're putting into it. And I don't say this lightly. I admire what you're doing, man. I admire you as a person. Me and you, we've known each other for a long time.
Very long time.
We've been in the same situation at the same time, going through the same shit for a good few years now, man.
We sure have.
And so I say I admire you because I know how hard it has been doing everything you've been doing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You got the full time, you got the passion hobby, all that kind of stuff. And you're still doing it, man.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Anytime.
Yeah, bro.
Just let me know.
Let's go get something to eat.
Time to eat.
Time to go eat something. All right. Bye, everyone.
All right.